All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem, Kakadash, and the Heavenly Father. The true name is Yahweh. And His only begotten Son, Ba'Shem, the name of Mashiach Yahushai. Those are their true names in ancient Biblical Hebrew, Dash Wakadash Sultan. And I say Barakatham to the elders, Akima Akwa, and I say Shalom. And this is a sit-down lesson of prophecy updates as of December the 2nd, 2024, on this Monday night. And this is a sit-down lesson. This is a news article I meant to say as of December the 2nd, 2024, and it reads, and this, comes to the economic wars between the United States and China. What's been going on for a while previously, from previous administrations, previous presidents, and the recent one as well, too, and the one that's about to come back in the White House as well, too. And it reads, Beijing vows to protect itself from U.S. economic bullying. It says Washington has restricted exports of a broad range of chip-making tools and software to China. It says that China Minister Commence has vowed to take necessary measures to safeguard its interests after the U.S. imposed sweeping import controls aimed at crippling the Chinese semiconductor industry. It says the U.S. Department of Commerce announced on Monday that it will ban the export of 24 type of chip manufacturing equipment, 3 software programs, and high bandwidth memory to China. Additional 140 Chinese entities, including tool-making chip fabricators, investment firms, were added to the Department of blacklist over their role in the developing China's domestic semiconductor industry. In a statement, Commerce Department claimed that China semiconductors can be used in the next generations of advanced weapon systems and artificial intelligence, which pose a substantial risk of U.S. national security. This is a typical act of economic coercion and the non-market practice, a spokesperson for the Chinese minister says in a response. The U.S. says one thing and does another, abusing export control measures and implementing unilateral bullying. China forum opposed this. It's the book of Matthew. Matthew 24, verse 7. For a nation shall rise against nation, right? If it's an economic war, actual nuclear war, actual tensions, hey, that's nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. Matthew 24, verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must first come to pass, but the end is not yet. Oh yeah, bring up that other scripture. This is the book of St. Mark, chapter 3, verse 23. It says, and if he called them and say unto them in a parable, how can Satan cast out Satan? St. Mark, chapter 3, verse 24. And if a kingdom be divided against itself, the kingdom cannot stand. Right, so we see these modern day kingdoms being divided against itself, just like Yahushua spoke about. If a kingdom be divided against itself, the kingdom cannot stand. That's what we're seeing. St. Mark chapter 3, verse 25. And if a house be divided against itself, the house cannot stand. Right, so if a house be divided against itself, the house cannot stand. St. Mark 3, verse 26. And if Satan rises against himself and be divided, cannot stand but have an end. Right, that's what we're seeing. And this is a news article from December the 2nd, 2024 from RT.com, and it reads, the Israel Hezbollah ceasefire showing cracks. Right, because you have in both sides accusing each other of breaking the violation of the ceasefire. What's the momentary ceasefire that they have right now? It says the armistice took effect last Wednesday following a 14-month of hostilities. Lebanese Hezbollah has reported it struck back against the alleged Israeli ceasefire violation for the first time since the fragile truce took hold last week. The militant groups stated on Monday, hours later, the Israeli Defense Force of the IDF announced airstrikes on dozens of missile launchers and infrastructure in Lebanon. Israel has conducted daily attacks on Lebanon starting the day after the ceasefire agreement between the JEWISH state and Hezbollah came into force last Wednesday. Hezbollah launched a preliminary defense response to the attacks, targeting the Israeli-held site in the Golan Heights, the group said in a statement cited by Beirut-based TV channel of the Al Madani on Monday. The IDF reported that the Lebanese military groups fired two Mark-tail shells towards the Hardaf under the international law. The site is considered a Syrian territory currently occupied by Israel. The IDF also struck dozens of launchers and groups in structure through Lebanon, including the launch of the site of the Hezbollah attack, the IDF said in a statement on Monday night. It's that First Thessalonians. Yep, this is the book of First Thessalonians, chapter 5, verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, sudden destruction come upon them, as they travail with woman with child, they shall not escape. Right, because you have in both sides, from the sides of the Israel Defense Force side and the side of the Hezbollah. They had this ceasefire agreement. Was they people would have thought that would kind of hold furthering the escalations, which lasted almost for 14 months, as you read that news article. But you've been having both sides, each claiming, accusing each other of the ceasefire violation. And that's why the scripture says that for when they shall say peace and safety, sudden destruction come upon them. As they travail with one with child, they shall not escape. And this is the book of Second Ezra. As we see in the ongoing escalations are heating up over there, Western Asia. You got the proxy groups. Nuclear escalations are heating up among the nations over there in Western Asia, throughout Iraq, throughout Syria, throughout the Gaza Strip, throughout the Palestinian territory, throughout Lebanon, throughout Golan Heights, throughout that whole region over there, Western Asia. Second Esdras, chapter 15, in verse 15. For the sword, we know the modern day sword is the weapon. For the sword and the destruction draweth nigh, and one people should stand up and fight against another with swords in hands. Right, as we're seeing Iran versus Israel, the IDF versus the proxy groups versus the pro-Iranian groups. We see in Russia and Syria going against the rebel groups over there in Aleppo, Syria. For the sword that destruction draweth nigh, and one people should stand up and fight against another with swords in their hands. Second Esdras 15 verse 16. For there should be sedition among men, invading one another. They should not regard their kings nor their princes in the course of action stay in their power. Right, citizens clashing against their leaders in power, and that's what we're seeing. It's only going to continue to increase. And this is the book of Second Esdras, 9 verse 3. It says, therefore, when there should be seen earthquakes, uproars, people in the world. Right, so increasing earthquakes and uproars of people in the world. And this is the book of Luke 21 and verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and the moon and the stars upon the earth. The distress of nations will perplex and seas rage war. Right, so the increasing of the distress of nations will perplex and seas rage war. It says Israeli strike hits southern Lebanon, but tension ceasefire holds. So with that, this was just a quick sit down lesson of prophecy updates as of December the 2nd, 2024 on this Monday night. So with that, I'd like to give all praises and glory and attitude to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Shem, Akarkadash, and Barakatham to the elders, Wa'akim Akwa. Until next time, I will say Shalom.